My name is Patrice Paris. I am a singer, songwriter, and also a voice and artist development coach. This year, my studio has reached 10 years, and I'm super excited and proud of that. And in the coming weeks, I want to share with you all the things that I have seen being a coach, a trend, right? A trend is something through a period of time with a number of people that has happened with my singers, and certain mindsets we need to overcome, certain technical things that can help you straight shoot your success there. So bear with me, as today I want to break down for you the difference between confidence and ego, and what served us and what may not so much. Let's go. So having worked, my studio is 10 years old, but I've been coaching before that, and I've been in this game for quite some time. So some things I've noticed, even myself. So this might be my experience working with artists, but I've also experienced a lot of this my own self. So one thing I've noticed a lot with artists, in particular when they start to grow and gain momentum, is people can take this in a couple different ways. Some start to harness an ego that I don't always find is going to be super beneficial for them in the long run. I am 100%, make this clear, about having great confidence. Confidence is huge, right? We want that confidence because when we step on stage and we have that confidence, that shows with the audience. So I think there's a huge difference between someone who is confident in their skill sets and then someone who is confident, but they're letting their ego take over, where they are almost diminishing in putting down those around them. And so what happens with that, and again, I've seen this many times, where they start to gain great momentum, and that is phenomenal. So I'm not here to say to not do that and to be scared to do that, right? Because that's what we want. If that's a goal of ours, you want to be climbing the ladder. But you want to be climbing the ladder without pointing the finger at others, without keeping an open eye to what is ahead of you. Is there others that, if you haven't hit your top end, and your top end is someone like Taylor Swift or someone who is doing this as a full-time career, if you're not there, then I would be very hesitant to think that you don't have to do the training or you're better than those around you. And I've seen that happen. So it's almost like, it's a I'm the best kind of attitude, which I just think stops us, right? What is the problem with that is when people are like, I'm the best, I'm there, I've already arrived, they're going to start being hungry for it and working for it and looking at those ahead of them and going, okay, I still have work to do. And so there's almost this stage of artists that I've seen happen, and that's they come in and they're not there and they're really humble and eager to work. And they do that, and then they start doing things and booking things, and then they start getting all of these accolades, and that is absolutely beautiful. And people can take it in a couple of ways. Some take that and they're excited about that, but there's almost a sense of humility and humble, and they maintain that and they stay hungry for the bigger picture. And those that take that and all of a sudden they're like, my poop don't stink, and who are you and what are you? And I think it's dangerous in this realm, not to say that they won't keep climbing the ladder, because they can, but I think at one point they might have a moment of realization where they get checked a little bit. And I remember having someone for a seminar who had done some really great things, and they were speaking to this, and from their own self, right, from their own experience, that they kind of went through that, and there's been humbling moments. And I think we're all kind of given certain things in order to, if we are open to that, to learn from it. So I'm not saying this to say that I haven't been there in moments or certain things like that, because I think we can experience that, be it as singers, be it just in different phases of our life. But I think it's really helpful to kind of go, okay, great, I'm going to train and be confident, but stay hungry for the bigger goal. And just there's something to be said about, and again, you're just getting my opinion about maintaining an element of being humble and kind to those around you. That same individual, I will never forget them talking because they were signed to a publishing deal. And, you know, they said to this when I brought them in for a songwriting class, they said, you know what, the same people that you see going up are the same ones you'll see going down. And basically, I mean, some of these interns, some of these people who you might write off, if they're hungry and they keep climbing the ladder, but if you have an ego and you're being cocky, at some point, I can say this too from a dear friend of mine. I remember bringing her in. She is a celebrity booker. She books celebrities. And she helped me. I did an audition process, and I remember there was one individual who, she just said to me, like, flat out, they were a good talent, but she just said I wouldn't want to work with them because she didn't like their attitude, and that isn't always the case. But it was like, okay, interesting from that realm of the industry and that perspective to kind of be like, there is something to be said again about having the confidence, but also just being a good human being, right? Being authentically you, and we see that in many shapes and forms. But I think the danger is when the ego comes in, and that's just kind of like, I always see ego as something that's like self-serving, and it's almost this superior thing that I am better than you, and who are you, or rather than looking for those ahead to aspire, to learn, to grow, there's almost an element of, I'm going to start to look around me and who are you, because I'm better than you, and I'm better than you, and I can do this and I can do that, and it's almost like an I, and it just shuts people down. So my advice to you is, again, I would argue everyone, my friends. So if you're sitting there and just like, oh gosh, I've kind of, it's like we've all been there. We've all had those moments. The quicker you can kind of snap yourself out of that, I think the better off you'll be. And hence why I'm doing this video. Because I think that we've all had those moments and all had humbling moments. And, if you're in that kind of phase right now and this is resonating with you, just maybe keep that in mind. Just be like, you know what, maybe I'm going to refocus my energy towards what is the bigger goal, and not about like who's around me and who I'm better than, but who's around me that may be better ahead of me. And that might not be on a local, maybe that's on a national level, but that's good if you're a local person who wants to get to a top stage, maybe not looking as much around you locally, but nationally. Who is there? Can I open up for this individual? Could I open up for a major star if that's my goal? If I'm not there, I still have work to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I would argue, and you could see many, many of videos where major artists are saying the same thing, right? They don't stop and, say, okay, I'm done. Like, their next album, they're looking to grow, they're looking to recreate, because art is just a creation. So how can I recreate something? How can I find another piece of myself? How can I play another alter ego? How can I build upon what I've had? And so I hope this served you. If it did, it helps me a ton if you can hit that subscribe button. That way I know this is reaching you. It helps me to help you. Feel free to like, drop a comment, and share your experience. I love hearing from you all. I try my ultimate best to answer the comments. So if there's something you're running into and you need some answers, drop it below. Also, feel free to offer free consultations. Just this way you can kind of check out your voice, but that's there to be had if you desire. If not, I wish you the ultimate best, and I hope this helped you or served you in some way. For now.